Okay. Who? Dan double you. Let's go. Ow, wow, listen right now. Everybody knows the man that says pow. Start the show, gonna talk some toys. This is for the grown-up girls and boys making noise. Let's start the show. Talking Marvel Legends and the money that we blow. Honestly, look, there ain't no stopping me. Turtles and Joes too, let's do this properly. Need to buy more toys, don't tell my bank. Wasn't me, promise it was Hellfire Hank. Whole Who crew, look, they made me do it. If it lands in my door, then I best review it. Screw it, I don't usually boast, but I got Rich M, he's here to host. Raise a toast and raise some ducks. This isn't your average show, we're deluxe. Pow! And welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. No matter where you are on the planet, everyone can enjoy some turkey on a Thursday. Why the hell not? It would be Amanda's favourite day because she loves a roast dinner, but she's buggered off out the house. So it's just me and Ted fending for ourselves, and we had a pizza. All right, is that appropriate Thanksgiving meals? Rich, the happy Thanksgiving. I'm thankful to have you as a co-host, Rich.
Oh, thank you, Dan.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Very kind of you. Very kind of you.
Do you do anything to celebrate Thanksgiving in Wales?
I watched Jennifer Lopez films because she got more turkeys than a turkey farm. She has.
What's your favourite Jennifer Lopez film?
I like Out of Sight. Is it Out of Sight? Which she's Karen Cisco in it. I like that one.
I don't know. I can't even think of one film.
With George Clooney. I think it was one of the first ones.
Okay. She's definitely.
I think that is the one good film she's been in.
Okay, now we know. Now you know what now the audience know what to do with the rest of their Thursday evening. All right, go and watch that film. How are we doing? Happy Haul Views, happy Thanksgiving, back at you, mate. Thank you very much. So people still message me. Oh, do you realise your channel says Haul Views? And I'm like, have to pretend I'm shocked every time. Like, oh, I never noticed. After 6 years on YouTube, no one's ever brought it up. You're the first person. But no, people, I'm well aware that the YouTube looks like that. But tough, it's stuck. What can I do? It's the name now, so deal with it. It's part of the gimmick, right? I told you, the final video I post on YouTube will be my views on whores. But until then, we are talking about Marvel Legends and everything in between. And today, we are talking what is next? Because this week, was the last pre-order date, the 26th, I think it was. So it was Tuesday, was the very last day to pre-order the Marvel Legends Sentinel, the X-Men 97 Sentinel, which was a direct to pre-order. Definitely not a HasLab, if anyone asks. It was a direct to pre-order. The difference,
not HasLab. Never HasLab.
Difference being it doesn't charge until it ships, like a regular pre-order, but the window's over. Like, it's not even on Pulse anymore. Like the Sentinel has gone from Pulse. So Dan Yoon was talking on Twitter, or Blue Sky, people are all over the place at the minute. But he was basically asking the question, should we do more of these bigger ticket items straight to the pre-order window? And the answer is, of course, yes. Yes, of course we should. And I said, don't you worry. Me and Rich...
Is that the answer, Dan? Is that the answer?
Well, the point is, you and me have a list of characters that we would love to see created in Marvel Legends form. So that is what we are doing today. But we do also have a little bit of Marvel Legend news to discuss, as Mr. Dan Slott himself got to reveal a world-exclusive image of a character we all knew was coming, but now we can start following breadcrumbs again. And you know me, I'm worse than Hansel and Gretel. I follow these breadcrumbs to a terrible place that I'm always wrong. There's no Mephisto at the end living in a candy house for me. But I think we're a little bit closer to the truth with this one, for sure. But we'll get into it. Let me just go through the housekeeping real quick. Say hello to the people in the chat. But yeah, I assume today will be a quiet one at Thanksgiving. I assume that's a bank holiday for you in the US, so everybody should be off work. Do they get the Friday off as well? Because it's like, that's what they call Black Friday, isn't it? The day after Thanksgiving. So I'm assuming that's a bank holiday too. So long weekend for everyone, I assume. Not for us. We're back at work tomorrow. Found any good Black Friday bargains, actually, Rich?
No, I haven't bought any. I actually haven't bought anything this year.
Yeah, same. I know Pulse, both US and UK Pulse have a sale on right now. 35 if you're a premium member, % off, and 25 if you're not a premium member. But I've not brought anything either because it's all stock that.
Amazon UK have had quite a lot of things as well. I think the Luke Cage Iron Fist thing is up there in the minute
Yeah,
for money
I'm
off.
always tempted by a Ring doorbell, Rich. Never quite got one though, but I'm tempted.
Do you know, I always look at that and thing. No, like the robot
Yeah.
Hoovers. That's the other thing. I always look at them, never follow through
I
though.
think him and Ted would become enemies very quickly in my house, so I couldn't be having one of them. But yeah, if anyone's found any good Marvel Legends related Black Friday deals, please let us know in the chat, and we will share them to the greater community here today on the live show. But as I said, let's go through the housekeeping first and foremost. Legends and Liquor, it is this Sunday. It is actually a Legends and Liquor weekend. So if you want to join us, you know what to do. Become a channel member. I think Rich is going to join us this week to give us his breakdown on the Steps show that we went to. Are you going to join us, Rich, or shall we just show some?
It's a tragedy. Of course I will, Dan. Me, you and Jay, we can talk about it for 5 hours.
First group is just me, Rich, and Jay talking about our trip to the Friends musical. What was it called? Now and Then, right? Then and Now? Then and Now and Then?
Here and Now.
Here and
Come
Now.
on now,
My
Dan.
bad,
Come
my
on,
bad,
Dan. Acting like you don't love the Steps. I saw your Lisa Scott Lee poster.
Look, what I learned that was Jay was quite attracted to the drag queen. That's what me and Amanda learned from that evening. He's opened his eyes.
That was the best bit, though. Chain Reaction, I would say, was the best song.
It was the more showy of the songs for sure. Anyway, you've got that to look forward to, a Legend of the Liquor, people. Anything over £4 or $4, Friday, our talking robot assistant will read out your super chat, literally be a part of the conversation, interrupt me and Rich, and contribute to the channel. And like always, if I do gain over 5 super chats during the live show, I will let the public show be private show at the private show. That sounds rude, doesn't it? The after show become public. All right, so hit that join button.
Got money in the bank.
And there you go. St. James is kicking us off nice and quick.
St. James donated $10.
Let's go to the right
Hey
image.
Dan and Rich, I'm thankful for the community you've brought together around toys, and I'd like wish everyone great day. Cheers.
Cheers to you, James. Thank you very much. That was nice. He says, hey Dan and Rich, I'm thankful for the community you've brought together around toys, and I'd like to wish everybody a great day. Well, thank you very much, James. I do massively appreciate that. As I said at the top of the show, I'm grateful for Rich for being my co-host. I'm grateful for you guys that just keep the channel pumping. And yeah, I appreciate, grateful for Marvel Legends, I suppose. I love recreating that plastic universe for Marvel, for sure. Right, let's say hello to some people in the chat. Oh, wait, let me go back a second. Hit that join button. What's the other one? There you go, that's it. If we get 4 more super chats during today's show, the bonus show will be public for everybody to view. And obviously today we're going to be talking about those bigger characters, all right? So start thinking, what characters would you like to see in that bigger scale? All right, let's say hello to the chat. Right, okay. Tac Toys, Damien. David was in the chat. He says, happy Friday Eve, looking forward to some new reveals. Our Greek friend, who I can't pronounce his name, says, I think my opinion, the biggest pre-order he's going to be, and I hope it to be Black Suit Spider-Man Tobey Maguire. I don't think that's needed to be a bigger pre-order, but
Mikey
okay.
Moonboots donated £9.99.
Thank you very much, Mikey Moonboots. He donated $9.99, but didn't need to say anything. I'm grateful. I'm thankful for you, Mikey Moonboots. Both you and JC starting us off nicely for today's stream. There you go. We're 2 super chats down already. 3 more. And you'll get an extra half an hour of content at the end of Thanksgiving. Beautiful stuff. TJ.
Yay!
Rich is well excited. I am TJ Williams. Hard that excited. Calm down, Rich. Calm down. Big M says, hello all. Compulsive Collector. Phil Jones retracted his message. So whatever he said, he regretted it and took it back. So I'm sure it was something
Phil.
nice. Can I find
Can't
out?
leave him out in public.
Can I find out what he retracted as an administrator? No, I can't even do that. What he said is forever a mystery. But he did give us turkey and a Hellfire Hank emoji, which I appreciate. Hobby says, who crew? Rich... Paul McCarthy says, happy Thursday, happy Thanksgiving all. Jamie Gitchard with the bum pirate emojis. Whatever YouTube channel has a bum pirate emoji. Come on now, we're very self-aware here. Your boys got toys. Shane Sluter. Figure Cave Collectibles. Adam, are we still on the big TV in the new Batcave? I hope so. St. James there, as I said. We got Hero Collections dropping the frog emoji. Shout out Brandon, is lurking. He's lurking. Christopher Allen, everybody's favourite. I dedicated a video this week, Rich, to everybody's favourite, Christopher Allen. I don't know if you'd noticed. But Dan Who Reviews was reviewing again. And
He's changed his username though. He's got it because he replied to you in the comments.
Yes.
He's got a different name
Yeah,
now.
People change their name, and I'll get very
Why does
confused.
everyone change their
I don't
names?
know.
Who would do such a thing? Why?
I know, yeah. If only they'd been displayed before. But yeah, shout out Christopher Allen. I did finally open up the Punisher Bushwhacker 2-pack, and this Punisher's instantly become one of my favourite figures of the year. I've always liked the Punisher in Marvel anyway, and I've always...
And the Red Widow?
It's close. It's close. But I will give the edge.
I'll wait for your top 10 list for that.
I will give the edge to Frank Castle. I have been wanting a Frank Castle in my display for years, literally years, that can hold a gun properly. And finally, we have one with really decent butterfly joints, so we can hold a gun in a much better. I like the screaming head as well, a lot of character. So yeah, if you do not have the Frank Castle and Bushwhacker 2-pack, honestly, treat yourself. Bushwhacker in himself is more than just a goon. He's a villain, he's a former priest, he's got a backstory, he's got a very weird power set, I do give you that, but he's been around, he's fought the Avengers, I think Hulk killed him at some point as well. So yeah, the Bushwhacker is absolutely a new villain to add to the collection as well, not just some throwaway character. Go and read their Punisher War Journal, issues 12 and 13, there's a mini arc with those two, you learn all about it. Definitely learn via the medium of action figures, as I always like to say. But yeah, I did review that, and you'll see the video next to it, Rich. It says Spider-Boy revealed. So let's just get into it, shall we? As Mr. Dan Slott revealed on Blue Sky the first image of Spider-Boy. Now, we all knew I know Rich is shocked because he had
Spider-Boy? No way.
He had no idea what this shoe was teased to us. Have I even went live on Instagram? I didn't even go live on Instagram. What an idiot. I'll go live now. This shoe was revealed to us at San Diego Comic-Con, I believe. And I think people in the community very quickly put it together that was Spider-Boy, and we'd have a Spider-Man wave coming. Now, obviously, since then, we've had PulseCon, we've had New York Comic-Con, and people have been thinking, okay, when are these figures going to get revealed, as we know they're happening, as a tease right here? Well, the time is now, people, because Dan Slott said Spider-Boy would be coming very soon. Now, Rich, I've not really read anything with Spider-Boy in as such, but you said he is Spider-Man's forgotten sidekick. Something happened in the continuity that made Peter forget about him, right? Or something. Can you just give people that don't know who Spider-Boy is just a little brief summary of the character, if you can?
Yeah, so with like the whole Spider-Verse, there was like a crossover where like the inheritors, so like more and people like that, they kind of managed to get rid of the spider totem, so they began disappearing from the Spider-Verse. So Jessica Drew disappeared for a little bit, other spiders all like disappeared, and then they managed to restore them, and when they came back, Spider-Boy was there, and it was like no one remembered him, but he'd always been around, and then they like retroactively made him like a sidekick of Peter Parker's. So it's kind of like everyone's forgotten who he is, but he's like this little kid who's been like spliced with a spider and now works as like a sidekick to Peter Parker. And he's had his own like ongoing series, I think, for the last year, I think, as well.
So they know who he is now. Like they're not ignoring him or thinking, who the hell is this? Like they're aware of him in the continuity now.
Yeah, bits of it. Like some of them still don't remember everything about him, but it's been like fleshed out a bit like that. And he's getting his own like story arcs and stuff like that.
Do you see him with his mask off? Because on the actual Marvel Legend, he's got on the design, he's got eyes on the side of his head. So is that how he actually looks without the mask, or is that just part of his costume?
So he's got like multiple eyes and like a spider. So he has got eyes on the side of his head, but also he's got like a normal face as well. He can like make them appear or not depending on like what he's doing with his powers.
Okay, like just give himself an emo comb over, and no one can see his extra eyes. Okay, I like it. He can hide in plain sight. So Spider-Boy,
he's got like boy band like curtain hair. That's what he's got.
That would make sense. So Spider-Boy's a character that sounds like you'd like to add to the collection, right?
I mean, I think he looks good. The storyline, but I like the design of it. I think Humberto Ramos did the design. I love Humberto Ramos, so yeah, I'll definitely pick him up. And he looks a bit different, especially if he is going to be like a smaller scale, because obviously in the comic book he's like this really skinny like teenager. So like hopefully if it is a new body, that'll like lend to like stuff like the Power Pack, some of the X-Men kids, that kind of thing's being done.
Yeah, I alluded to that in my little news recap because Dan Slott, I don't know if he meant it in a sculpting sense, but he said this was all new. So it's the first time in the line for the character in a Marvel Legend, of course, but hopefully now as we progress with Legends, as I said, this year we're definitely on an uptick. It's completely pinless, utilising new tech. I can't see butterfly joints on this one image, but granted it is only one image on an awkward angle. So time will tell, but hopefully it's not too far away because, as I've said, there's breadcrumbs. There are always breadcrumbs to follow. Now, as I said, sometimes I follow them in the wrong direction, but this is where my brain is going for here. So Entertainment Earth, as they do, they have their hot drops, their drop zone on their channel. And occasionally some of the listings leak and they have to retroactively like take them down, which sort of what happened here. So they technically sort of leaked a Spider-Man related wave. And if you read the clue, it says turn the page to the new addition to your collection for 2025. You won't have to search the whole web for these. Just a reminder. So the whole web is making me think, well, it's Spider-Man.
Money in the bank.
Oh, what's this here? Oh, thank you very much.
Drew underscore
Thank
P
you, Drew.
underscore neck underscore the underscore turkey donated $10. I'm thankful for all the vegetarians out there, especially that Wire Boy's got toys. He's probably got a huge heart.
Okay, it's Alexi, but he's in the alias of Drew P. Neck the Turkey. Thank you very much for the $10. I am always grateful for your boys got toys. He says I'm grateful or thankful for all the vegetarians out there, especially that your boys got toys. He's probably got a huge heart. Yes, rumours are true. He does have a huge heart. I didn't realise he was a vegetarian though. Sad times or happy times, I guess. However you perceive that, but yeah, I couldn't survive if I was a vegetarian. I don't eat fruit or veg. I'm the opposite of whatever a vegetarian is.
More turkeys for everyone else.
Yes,
Dan.
yeah, it's fine. More turkey, but yes, I am thankful. I am always thankful for you boys got toys. He knows that as well. So anyway, let me just flash up this image. I don't want to leave it on the screen too long, but there may have been a leaked listing that referred to Spider-Man Retro Wave. Okay, it is what it is. All right, it was there and it was gone. Blink and you miss it. All right. So I do think that this Spider-Man is going to be on the new modern card back, and the rumours that are already out there, not by me, other people did that, not me, of a Spider-Man wave hitting early 2025. We're going to see that in December for the 12th. So if the 12th is the pre-order and these are going to be revealed on a live stream, that means the live stream is, it says 10 a.m. Eastern, no, Pacific, so it could be a live stream on that Thursday or on the Wednesday. So I'm going to make a prediction now that the Marvel Legends December live stream is going to be Wednesday the 11th of December. Would you think that's a fair assumption, Rich?
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Yeah, I think they will do their final live stream on the 11th of December. They will announce that whole Spider-Man wave, maybe a few of the little other ones as well, which would be nice.
Oh, it's gonna be those stupid ranking one, isn't it?
Yeah,
where they do the stupid, what do they call it?
Draft.
Oh, fuck's sake! How are they gonna do bath for the year? They've only got two.
Isn't that what you wait for? Isn't that what the community wait for at the end of every year? We want to know their rankings, right? It's the biggest viewed live stream of the year. For anyone,
no, it is not really. People watch that.
If you wanted to know what their rankings were for last year, there you go. There's Ryan's, Dan, and Dwight's pick for last year. So yeah, you've got that to look forward to. You can tell already. Rich is really looking forward to it. He cannot wait. I'll be there to enjoy. Hopefully.
What are they going to do for the bath? What are they going to do for the bath?
I reckon they're going to change it. They're going to change the topics. It's going to be comic, Build-A-Figure, MCU, multi-pack, and wildcard. They're going to change Build-A-Figure to deluxe. Maybe. I don't know. To be honest, I don't care either. I just want to know what the reveals are. I love them pieces, but...
It's so boring, though. It's so boring.
Look, they're welcome to come on my live stream if they want to do their rankings. We'll do one with you. But anyway, that's what my prediction is. I reckon we're going to get Spider-Man Wave. And Rich, will I see a retro card chameleon before Christmas? Could that be an early Christmas present for Mr. Dan Who? Dan Hall reviews himself. Will get the Christmas gift of chameleon.
I think Mr. Hall, I think they've got you covered, but I think it's going to be Chameleon in his like dressing gown costume. That's what I think it's going to be.
Yeah, so do I, to be fair. I do. Considering that last tease we got was the squashed mask, where the animated Chameleon never wore masks, but the old Toy Biz figure did have masks in the packaging, and Dwight did sort of say to me at MCM, he said, maybe they put masks in there as a tribute. So I don't know. He gave me a little bit of hope, but he could have just been, again, sending me in the wrong direction. But anyway, that's some news to come anyway, right? This is news to come. So Spider-Boy was revealed this week. We know the tease was already shown, so we know there's going to be an unlimited Spider-Man as well, probably both on the modern card backs, and then we'll have the rest of the wave go up for pre-order on the 12th, okay? So Spider-Man wave incoming, which isn't out of the norm. I think usually we do end the year or start the year with a Spider-Man wave. We did the same thing last year, right? Which it was, they revealed them at NCM, and then we had them before the year was over. But this wave's just a little bit behind that because of Secret Wars, I imagine. Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Okay.
Yeah, we are way behind on everything at the minute, aren't we?
Yeah. Secret Wars has been pushed back until mid-December. I think Cap's due like the 3rd of December, but then the rest have been pushed back even further than that. I had to write myself a list to make sure I had my finances in order. Where did I put that? Okay, so the Captain America movie figures, Red Skull's due on the 18th of December. This is UK pulse, by the way, so I'm speaking exclusively to my UK friends now, because Red Skull is due, Red Hulk, I kept saying Skull, didn't I? Red Hulk is due on the 18th of December, Falcon is due on the 11th of December, Captain America is due on the 11th, Deadpool is due on the 11th. Oh, Eric Fox, thank you very much, Eric, for the super chat.
Eric Fox donated $10. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving to all who are celebrating. Going to have to catch the rest of the show with the replay crew. Have a great day all. Hepzibah.
Hepzibah to you as well, Eric. Thank you very much. He says, have a wonderful Thanksgiving to all who are celebrating.
Hepzibah.
Going to have to catch the rest of the show with the replay crew. Have a great day all. You have a great day, Eric. Thank you very much for the super chat. I am thankful for your super chat and for your viewership. And yes, absolutely catch the replay. That is what it is there for. Let me just continue with this rundown. So yeah, Red Hulk 18th of December, Falcon 11th, Captain America the 11th, Deadpool the 11th, Logan with Headpool on the 11th, the Black Suit Spider-Man for Secret Wars on the 11th, Wolverine Secret Wars on the 11th. We have got the Beyonder on the 13th, Titania on the 13th, or Titania, whatever you prefer, and Rollerblading Iron Man on the 18th, with Captain America being the 3rd. So yeah, so it's a busy December, I guess, as we wrap up the year. But yeah, we are definitely behind in comparison to the US. That is for sure. But anyway, let's get into today's topic, Rich. Let's get into today's topic. There we go. Let's go made to order. Okay, so Marvel Legends have this year they just it's decided to go in a different direction. So rather than the HasLab that we have got them the 3 or 4 years prior to that, this year they didn't want to do the HasLab concept. They wanted to do a direct to pre-order.
HasLabs, definitely labs.
Definitely not a HasLab. Richard just confirming it wasn't a HasLab for sure. Definitely not. Completely different. It was a direct to pre-order.
Got money in the bank.
And Madison Kingswood is a super chat. Thank you very much. We've nearly hit our limit already today.
Madison Kingswood donated £10.
Thank you very much, Madison. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And yeah, we're one away from the after show being public to everybody. So thank you very much for the support. As always, people are in a positive and thankful mood today. So I am also in a thankful mood. Thank you to everybody who watches the show every week. Honestly, I appreciate it. But let's get into this. Fing Fang Foom, Rich. I swore this year, with it being the year of the dragon, there might have been a little bit of hope for a Marvel Legends Fing Fang Foom. But they ended up going with Dragon Man. So they still did a dragon within the year of the dragon, but they did Dragon Man. Fing Fang Foom has still got to be on their sort of shortlist, I believe, for a bigger ticket item. This Sentinel they've just done wasn't quite as big as Galactus or the HasLab Sentinel, but it was still big. And I think Fing Fang Foom can be like a little bit smaller than even that Sentinel. So thank you very much. Your boy's got toys. He says that's 5, including Droopy's next Streamlab. That's true. That is very true. To be fair, he's not wrong. He went for the Streamlabs option, which I do appreciate, Alexi. I'm well aware. So yes, he's not wrong. So yes, we will make the after show public. But Rich, what do you think of the potential of a Fin Fang Foom in 2025? Are they going to continue avoiding the HasLab format and find out a way to put a character like Fin Fang Foom into the line? And by the way, we've got a list of like 10 or 12 characters today to discuss. So Fin Fang Foom is at the top of that list. Rich, what do you think?
I mean, I think yes, mainly because when the Dragon Man one was like hinted at, no one guessed Dragon Man. Everyone was guessing Fin Fang Foom.
Yeah.
So I think as a made-to-order figure, like it's not something you're going to be able to reuse on anything else. It's only going to be able to be used for Fin Fang Foom. So I don't think they could do it as like a mainline release. Because even things like Modok and Mojo, they've managed to get 2 versions out of them. So unless you did like a different, like original color Fin Fang Foom in like the orange or something like that. But I think this would probably be an easy layup to be a made-to-order, not a Hasbro Pulse thing.
Yeah, for sure. Did you never had the Build-A-Figure, right?
No, I think like a couple of pieces. That's it. So yeah, I've never completed Fin Fang Foom.
I have seen the Build-A-Figure in person at Jay's house in Jay's display, and I think my first thought to Jay, and Jay, if you're lingering, you can confirm for me. I said it wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. So I'm assuming the Fin Fang Foom Build-A-Figure is smaller than even the recent.
This Fin Fang Foom. Okay, Adam, everyone, Craig, everyone's seen this Fin Fang Foom.
Yeah, he does like showing it off when you get around there, to be fair. But I think it's doable at this scale. I don't think it needs to be a HasLab. Now we've seen the sort of scale that they're willing to go to. Saying that, though, Giant Man was only £25 more than the Sentinel, and it ended up being a HasLab, which I think this Sentinel pre-order proves that at anything from the £200 or below price point doesn't need to be a HasLab, which is something we've said for a long time anyway. So, yeah, I think a Fin Fang Foom can be done. Just a better version of the old Build-A-Figure, I suppose. Like I'd take the green Mind's Eye Fin Fang Foom all day long, and I think it's high potential. If they've got a shortlist, Dwight confirmed to us they have a shortlist of stuff they want to do if Dragon Man and Sentinel did well, of course. Now we never know the numbers and like a HasLab because it's internal, but I'm assuming they must have done well. So yeah, I'd like to see a Fin Fang Foom. You can give us some hit and misses in the chat as we go along. You know, if you're a channel member, you've got those emojis, and I'll read a couple out as we go through. Compulsive Collector. He says, can I get a fuck you, Compulsive Collector, from Rich? I like to just go ahead and make this an annual Thanksgiving condition. All right, let me go full screen for Rich. All right, Rich, you can put your all into this. All right, just clear your throat and give him a good fuck you, Compulsive Collector.
I just imagine he said something nice about Kitty Pryde like he usually does. Fuck you, John. Fuck you, Compulsive Collector. And fuck you and your Thanksgiving too. There we go.
There we go. There you go, John. That was a nice, thankful fuck you to John while he's basted his turkey there at home. But we appreciate it. We can appreciate John as well. And Jay's here as well. Jay can confirm. He can confirm that my length just wasn't as impressive enough for Mr. Who. It's true. I wasn't impressed with his length. Yeah, no, he's got it. It's definitely in his display, and he likes showing it off. He likes showing off his whole display, to be fair. It's great. To be honest, it's great, Jay. What can I say? I was impressed. I was really impressed, to be honest, with the greater display. Right, let's get into the next character. Now, we've talked about her a lot in recent streams, so we're not going to spend too much time on armor, but I think me and Rich are both in agreement when we say, if you're going to do a direct pre-order, bigger concept character, one that's a little bit more difficult, that requires unique sculpting and unique tooling, that maybe can't ever be reused anywhere else because the character is too unique within her power set and design, Armor is definitely in that category. She's also obviously the Astonishing X-Men team that they are slowly sort of rebuilding in Marvel Legends form now. So should be a great candidate for this type of format where it's probably never needed to be a HasLab because it's not that sort of price, but again, a modern character, obscure character design, can't be reused. Me and Rich have already talked about how we think this should be done. It needs to be a separate female figure with something you can build and then place her in, rather than just having a head in a body or something like that, like a Hulkbuster head in a body. We don't want that. It needs to be armor, the individual female character, plus an additional thing. Rich, armor's got to be quite high on your list as well, to be fair, with being a X-Men liker, lover.
I think, to be fair, I think out of them all on this list, she's probably the one that I would, like, as a made-to-order figure, I would pay. Because I think, going from what they've done so far, there's, like, 2 categories to this. There's the bigger figures, like the Sentinel, but I think Dragon Man is not a massive figure, but it's a figure, like you said, would need a lot of, like, unique sculpting to make it. So I think an armor, like a fully articulated armor, where the armor articulates with a 6-inch figurines. And again, it's not even going to be 6-inch because armor's a teenager. It could be smaller again. They could do like a female body back that they could reuse to go with Spider-Boy with it. But armor would be a great way just to get that in one as well. So I haven't got to buy a Kitty Pryde to get a leg of armor. I can just get armor all in one and I can put my Kitty Pryde in the bin.
Hero of Collector says, I'm not a scale snob, so I just want Marvel Legends to revive the 12-inch line and give us tall characters like Goliath, Ultimo, and Fin Fang Foom, etc. Now, they just think they did go back into that 12-inch scale well when they gave us Super Adaptoid, as Super Adaptoid was just a green version of the Captain America that they'd made in that 12-inch line. That 12-inch line, I think, had more potential than people gave it credit for. The figures from that line were decent. They were very good, and like if they had done a Giant Man or an Ant-Man, whatever, or even other characters like we may speak about later, yeah, there was potential where you could definitely complement the 6-inch line with that 12-inch line with particular characters for sure. I agree. So yeah, me and Rich in agreement with Armor. She's a unique character design, so you couldn't really get much reuse out of her to be in a main line. She would require a little bit of extra love. So yeah, put it in this made to pre-order. I want an Armor in the collection. I've said it for a long time. Awkward to do in figure form, I'll give you that. But if they execute it right with the translucent green plastic and you can actually still articulate her inside, it'll be epic. But good luck to the people designing it. Now, moving on to bigger characters. We're talking like Sentinel scale. Let's go with the Celestials. Now, technically, I guess you could have these being even bigger than Galactus if you wanted to. Like the Celestials in comic lore can be as big as they want. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no accurate scale for a Celestial. So if Marvel Legends really wanted to go all out, they could make Celestials bigger than even Galactus. But I do think Galactus will remain the biggest Marvel Legend ever, not including Stiltman, of course. But this is also an awkward one because there's so many different character designs for Celestials. Throughout all the Marvel generations, whether you're reading like the Golden Era or the Silver Age or whatever, the Celestials designs are obviously inspired by those original Jack Kirby drawings, but they always change a little bit. There's always multiple Celestials as well. So if Marvel Legends were going to go, right, we're going to do a Celestial, which one would they do? Which one design would they do? What colour would it be? Would they give us different head sculpts with different designs? I do think, as much as I think cosmic fans would appreciate adding Celestial representation into their collection, this one would be a difficult one to sort of be a crowd pleaser due to the designs that are all over the place. Would you agree, Rich?
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine it would be, if they did one, it would be the red one, Irish, the Judge, because I think he's in the MCU as well. I think that's probably the most well-known design of them all. But like you said, every Celestial has got a completely different look. It's not like you could even do a head swap. They're all different colours, different powers, different abilities, stuff like that. So, and I think maybe, if the Eternals had took off and been like a much more of a hit than it was, then I think possibly we could have seen more of these. But I think the Eternals bombed. They kind of like disappear from the comic books as well. There's no, like, at one point, like, they were trying to make the Eternals to be like this big thing in comics. Like Kieran Gillen came and did a really good run on the Eternals, like made them more MCU. Like they like changed the genders and races of the different Eternals to fit in with the movie. But yeah, at the minute now, there's nowhere to be. I don't know if the Celestials would be a thing. I would buy one if they had them, because I think they're such a big part of Marvel lore. They turn up everywhere. They've got like ties to the Fantastic Four, to the Avengers, in Earth X, they're part of that. Like they're everywhere. But again, like you said, we've got Galactus as well. Do we really need one? Maybe not.
Yeah, like it's an awkward one. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand if you're a fan of the Golden Age and Jack Kirby designs and all of that cosmic world, then of course the Celestials are a big part of that, and you'd probably like some way to represent them on the shelf. But just to make one figure would be awkward. This is the Arashum, the judge in the red, where his design is similar throughout the different generations. But again, it genuinely does change, and it is also the one that's appeared in the MCU, I think, as well. But again, it's hard. Like, how many people out there would want this version? Like, genuine question for the chat right now that are watching: if they were to create this Celestial in the sort of Sentinel scale, who would want it? Who would buy it? Like, is it a yes or a no? Is it a hit or a miss? Me and Rich are like the target audience for Marvel stuff anyway, so like we're always going to be more in than out. But for the, like, just for the casual who's maybe not as deep into the lore, this isn't as well known or as mainstream as the Sentinel design is, because the Sentinel design has been in animated form for 30 plus years, and people, even if they're not familiar with Marvel Comics, are probably familiar with the design, where Celestials are a little bit of a deeper cut, I think. Phil Jones says hit. The strong collectors say no way, but remember, they're the weak collectors, Rich. They say no to a lot of stuff, so we don't take what they say too serious. Micah Moonboot says hit. Tyler says they should keep the movie and the comics universe separate. Just name another comic based on the MCU. The comics always are, unfortunately, always going to try and complement what the MCU is doing, because the MCU has a bigger reach today. Unfortunately, that's the reality as it is. More people are watching movies than are reading comics. You might not like that statement, but it's a factual statement. So the comics will always try and go in the same direction as the movies. Like they did it with the Inhumans. The Inhumans got a big push in the comics because of the TV show they were doing, and then that bombed, and then the Inhumans disappeared within the comics for a little bit. It even happened to the Fantastic Four after that movie dropped with that last one Fox did. They put it back. I think Dan Slott was the one who brought the Fantastic Four back into Marvel Comics proper after they disappeared for a little bit as well. So it's unfortunately the way it is. If it doesn't do well in the greater pop culture, the comics start just hiding it for a little bit. But it always comes back around. It always comes back around. Rich, would you buy this Celestial? If they made this as a Sentinel scale Marvel Legend, would you buy Arasham?
Yeah, I would buy Arasham.
Yeah, me too. I would as well, just to put him in the cosmic display. But again, we're Marvel deep cut, so I get it. Your boy's got toys says no thank you with the misses. Arvin goes miss just because I don't have space, and JC Shaw says miss. John says I'd love Celestials, but only if they did them like 48-inch figures Jack Pacifics did for Star Wars and TMNT. Don't care about articulation, just sculpt and paint detail. Yeah, would you buy them if they did like Celestials in Marvel Titan, like articulation? Like, it's just about the representation on the shelf, I suppose. It's an awkward character design. Again, it's worthy of conversation for sure, but it's a difficult one. I don't see that one happen. I definitely think so far Fin Fang Foom and Armor are much more likely than the Celestials. Let's keep going. Now, you've already mentioned Living Tribunal today, Rich. This one I think is a little bit easier for them to do than the Celestials. Cosmic again, but his scale changes a lot as well, but he's never portrayed as big as a Celestial. I reckon this could be represented as like the 12-inch scale, or again, I think this one can be, they can blur the lines a little bit and make this one a little bit more doable, right?
Yeah, so Living Tribunal his scale changes. He has been bigger than the Celestials. He's like the living embodiment of like all the Marvel Universe, really. But like, equally, he's been like standing there like 6 feet tall with the rest of like Thanos, stuff like that. So, I mean, he's a great character. I think of all the cosmic entities of the Marvel Universe, he's probably the most likely to be done, because he's in floater bus. You could do that with like a little clear plastic PVC bit, and then just a regular body. Some of the more like abstract things like eternity be much harder to do, but I think like the Living Tribunal would be one that would be great to use. Plus he's in Marvel Snap as well, but that Marvel Snap wave, Dan, that I want so much. Like he shares the powers out between your three things. He's a good one to have in your deck.
Look, if it's on Marvel Snap, you know you've won Rich over already. But I agree. If you're world building that cosmic sort of section, then he is one of those bigger characters that I think they can play with the scale. Like my mind's eye of a Celestial is always massive, like because it's a Celestial. It's always portrayed as these massive godlike beings. But the Libyan Tribunal, as you say, like I've seen him on comic pages that is just he's a bigger guy, but it's not those bigger scale. So I think they can play around with this one. The floating head would be an awkward one to do. Like I know people could throw out there, they could do like magnets and they could float the head and blah blah blah, but I don't think they'd ever go that far. It will probably be a translucent piece, like Rich said.
Magnet.
But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I'm referring to. There's always going to be someone that will suggest that, and I understand why they would think that as well. They're not going to put it into the Marvel Legends form, unfortunately. But a bit of translucent plastic, I think, with a bit of swivel so you can see all the heads is what's required on this one. Yeah, this one's more doable. Again, it's a deeper cut. Again, not one of those characters. I think regarding to the MCU, we've seen his head, I think, in Loki, right? We've seen his face in the Void or something like that. Have we?
Yeah.
Or am I making that up? We have. Okay.
Yeah, I think he showed up.
Capliv says, I'd love a Living Tribunal. By the way, we are aware Rich's internet is a bit dodgy today. We were trying to work it out before the stream, but we don't really know why. So we are making do. So I appreciate your patience, Rich.
It's shit. They're trying to take me down, Dan.
Yeah.
Hasbro.
If you showed them the Marvel Legend that you've got in hand, they definitely would shut us down. So don't show that off just yet. But Rich is forever the real source out there, people.
Don't show off Husk yet, no. Keep Husk hidden.
Keep what you've got secret. They don't need to see it this yet. But as I was saying, Cap Lives would love a Living Tribunal. Articulated Hero says hello. Happy Turkey Day to those who celebrate. Happy Turkey Day to all. I've never heard it referred to as Turkey Day, but that sounds fun. Compulsive Collector says Kitty Prize phased through Rich's modem. He wouldn't like that. He would not like that. JC Shaw says, I'm down for them to do some full teams in this sales format. Original Hallions, Mutant Liberation Front, Morlocks. Yeah, that's true. We're only talking about bigger characters today, but there is definitely a way they could do bigger box sets that are direct to pre-order of the more obscure teams. I think that's a great subject that we will probably dive into at some point on the stream for sure. What more obscure teams could they do as box sets in this sort of direct to pre-order format? Because it doesn't need to be a big character every time. It could be something a little bit different. So yeah, we will definitely discuss that in the future. But today, let's focus on these bigger characters and let's go next up. So how do you say this name properly, Rich? Leopardon?
Leopardon?
I'm dyslexic, people. Leave me alone, all right? Stop being mean. But I know this is the robot from the Japanese Spider-Man, right? It was live action originally, and they've made it canon, etc.
That's it. The top Spider-Man show from like the 70s, 80s. Like they done Spider-Man wave about 2 years ago, didn't we? Mm-hmm. The Beyond Amazing wave, yep. I think it came in, yep. But we never got Leopardon. He would be a great figure. He's like essentially like a big mech type of figure that Spider-Man pilots. He shows up in the comics in the Spider-Verse. This is in the Spider-Verse where he comes to save like all the spiders who've been attacked by the Inheritors. He comes to like help them out and get rid of them. It's a great looking character, and I mean, since Hasbro doesn't seem to be doing anything with the Power Rangers license at the minute, they've got all those like Zords, all that technology. I mean, they do Transformers, so I don't think it would be a stretch to do this. But I think it is quite a unique character, so I think it's something that maybe wouldn't appeal mainstream, but I could see it as like a as a made to order Hasbro thing. It would be a good thing to. Again, it's not only mech suit in the Marvel universe. Like Red Ronin, I'd love a Red Ronin figure, but I think that's more obscure. I think if they were going to do a mech suit, it would be Leopardon would be the one made to order, I would guess.
I think this has more potential than people probably assume. because it's Spider-Man related. Spider-Man is like their A1, A tier character that they will do. They do Spider-Man in any concept. Like the kids line is all Spider-Man. They reboot that every year and they add symbiotes to it and whatever. They just consistently make sure there's Spider-Man related stuff on the shelf. So I think all you need to do to sell this to people who may not be familiar is break it down as like, this is Spider-Man's Megazord. Do you know, like, people would probably understand that. And again, if this appears in a kids animated show at some point, again, that would also encourage it. I reckon this has got more likability than other those deeper cut cosmic characters, just because of its connection to Spider-Man. That's how powerful Spider-Man is to the general public. Trying to sell this to people, like, what is it? I don't get it. Look, it's Spider-Man's robot. That's all you need to. That is in its most simplest form. But I just like the history of it. I like. Was it the Disney Plus had that documentary series where they did the whole breakdown of Stan Lee selling the Spider-Man show and all of that? Like, it's really interesting if you haven't seen it. I think it's on Disney Plus. But yeah, Spider-Man was basically had its own Power Ranger type show in the Japan, and we've got the Marvel Legend already. We just haven't got his Zord, if you will. So I think people would be a big fan of this. And like Rich said, they do Transformers. They've made Power Ranger Zords. They may have give up on the Power Rangers brand, which is unfortunate because they still had plenty to do. But for whatever reason, Hasbro give up on it. But they made some Zords, and some of the Zords were decent. So yeah, this is doable. This is doable.
And Playmate's going to be doing Power Rangers next.
Playmates are going to reveal their first Power Rangers stuff at Toy Fair in March. So Toy Fair next year is the 1st of March 2025. So Playmates will show their first Power Ranger products or tease at least the direction they're going, which is probably going to be Mighty Morphin of some degree, let's be honest. But they're going to show it the 1st of March, I think. Again, I don't know that for a fact. I'm just putting clues together that are out there. Toy Fair is back in New York, and it's back in. It used to be February, but then they moved it because of COVID, and then it ended up in October. But then it was too close to Christmas, so they've moved it back to the spring, and it's now March 1st, 2025 in New York. That's probably where we see what Playmates are doing, but I don't have high hopes.
Circle of life. Everything goes back to where it was.
I don't have high hopes for Playmates. I'll be curious. I'll be curious. I like Playmates better than most people. I think Playmates don't get enough credit in this day and age for what they've done for toys. Like, if Playmates weren't around and pumping out Turtles like they were back in the day, who knows if we'd be collecting toys as we are today. Do you know what I mean? Playmates deserve a lot more credit. They may not make collector stuff for us now as adults, but Playmates as a toy company deserve a lot of love. Like some of my favourite toy lines are all Playmates. We've got the World of Springfield, we've got the Turtles, even the Space Jam figures have been shown off recently. They're all Playmates. So yeah, I like Playmates. So I hope they do well, but I don't have anything for collectors anyway. But anyway, a few people in the chat would like this. He does transform too, says Andrew in the chat. Wow, never heard of this one, Shane Suter. There's a documentary on Disney Plus. Honestly, it's Spider-Man's Megazord from the Japanese Spider-Man show. Stanley approved, all right? So we all have to approve as well. Rich, you take all the time you need. Gen X forever, says Shane Shooter. Right, let's go. Next up. Right, I say this name wrong as well. Shuma-Gorath. Shuma-Gorath. Definitely not the monster that was in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Say it again.
Chun-Li, fight! I'm gonna take you for a ride.
Yeah, Street Fighter. I just need to play the Street Fighter game more, don't I? The Capcom game, sorry. Strong Collectors, again, another pass. These guys don't even collect. Do you even collect Strong Collectors? Oh, my God. Mike and Moonboots.
I've got a little bus of him. He can't fit many on there.
I wasn't aware of his bus living situation. But even if they didn't have a bus, he'd probably still say miss. Ah, dear. Mike and Moonboots says hit, though, and so does Damien. Rich, this actually has been teased in Marvel. Like, this was on rumoured leak lists that were out there a while ago, around about the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness time. It never came to fruition, but I genuinely do think this is already sculpted. This is already created behind the scenes in Marvel Legends, but they've just plucked it and they're moving it around, and this will probably find its way out next year to do with the Capcom 2-packs, right? So I think this has already been sculpted. They plan to do a deluxe, or maybe they wanted it as a Build-A-Figure originally and it never quite worked out. But I think it is sat on the shelf somewhere at Hasbro and they're waiting to find somewhere to put it. And it's probably going to end up in those Capcom 2-packs next year. Again, just a guess. What do you think, Rich?
The only thing is, with those 2-packs, he's too big. He needs to be bigger, I think. I think like they shrunk him down for Marvel vs. Capcom, but even then he's quite a big character in Marvel vs. Capcom. He's not like a tiny little like starfish or something. He's like this big octopus god, European nightmare type of thing. So yeah, I mean, to me, I never understood why I do understand why, because of the name. I think there's licensing issues with the name Shuma-Gorath and where he originated. But I think the character, that's why Doctor Strange uses a different character, Gigantos, I think he does. It doesn't call him like Shuma-Gorath. But I think you could do this as a Build-A-Figure, because essentially you just got like a sphere with the eye in the middle of it, and then you just got like eight tentacle legs. Like, it's such a layup for like an easy, unique bat figure. So the Marvel known than some of the other universe. I would have maybe wanted this maybe in the Strange Tales wave. I think it could have been easily up there. But yeah, I think again, it depends on the scale. Like so that would be a much smaller one. So if this is gonna be like a made-to-order figure, I'd want it like this, like a massive one that is gonna tower over the Avengers, over Doctor Strange, over the X-Men, over everyone. Just this big iron on these like articulated legs. That's what I want.
I agree. They could break this. It's an easy character design to break down because of its nature. Like, it could be a Build-A-Figure of the Capcom 2-packs. Do you know, like, I very much doubt that, by the way, but like, that would be a fun idea where if you collected all the Capcom 2-packs, you could build him. Like, again, probably not the direction they go, but I'm sure it could be doable. You got 6 arms and a body. It's all you need. I'm just curious of the scale, like how big.
8 arms? Come on, have you not watched the Doctor story? Come on.
Okay, well, 8 arms, but still, like, I'm just not sure of the scale. Like, it's going to be. Again, they could play around with this. Look how big he is on that image compared to the characters that are at the front. Like, you've got Captain America there, right at the front, and look how big he is in comparison. But again, there's another character where they don't actually have to make him that big. They could probably squish him down a little bit to be like look size, and people would be happy to have the representation on display. Take up a bit of shelf space though. Yeah, your boy's got Toys agrees. He says 6-inch would be just fine. Are you still there? Is the delay getting even worse?
It's just getting worse, Dad. This is getting worse. Okay. I am here. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Okay. I'll just look at the pictures and say things when asked, right?
Okay. We love you. We love you still. We are all thankful for you, Rich. We're all thankful for you. Right, let's keep going then.
Maybe I need to invest in a new internet provider in the new year.
Maybe. Aunt Jamilia says he wasn't normal size in the video games. Wasn't he normal size in the video games? Yes. Again, they play around with his scale. He is a character that the scale can definitely be played around in. Kurt K in the chat also says, Happy Thanksgiving to you all. Grateful for life and for all of you in it. Cheers. Shout out to Kurt K as always. Sending positive vibes to him. Jay says, Hit would love a giant eyeball octopus. Yeah, I think people would like this one. I'd be curious to see the way Hasbro execute it. Another one, which I think is very likely. It has already been rumoured, but then plucked. Like that Hawkeye Sky Cycle was rumoured for ages and eventually came out. This was rumoured a couple of years ago and vanished. So I think at some point it's going to rear its evil eyeball squid-like arms again. Just wait. Just be patient. Next up, Sentinel Buster Iron Man. Now, Rich, how modern is this? Because I am even unfamiliar with this.
So this is very modern. When I was going with this, I was going to go with the Phoenix Buster Iron Man, because I just wanted a giant Iron Man.
Yeah.
So Phoenix Buster is obviously from Avengers vs. X-Men, A vs. X. But obviously in the end of Fall of X, the House of X era, Iron Man was married to Emma Frost. And obviously the Sentinels, the evil team against him. Like, they took Iron Man's armor. That's where you can see the Sentinels behind in the Sentinel armor. So Tony obviously made his own armor, this giant size mech to kill the Sentinels. The Sentinel buster Iron Man. Iron Man sells, X-Men sells. So why not have something to fight that Sentinel with the Sentinel buster Iron Man?
Look, the Strong Collector's got a seat on the bus for him. He likes this one. I love Iron Man, so to be honest, this makes me more intrigued to read the source material, to be like, oh, okay, I want to know why Tony's built a bloody Sentinel buster. But Tony Stark likes to challenge people. What can I say? He likes a challenge, and he always brings it. And this would be epic to see. Again, it would just be a giant Iron Man robot mech. Now, has it got that commercial appeal? It's Iron Man. As simple as that. It's an Iron Man robot, giant robot.
And it's not just Iron Man, it's X-Men as well. So you're getting Avengers fans, X-Men fans, Iron Man fans, Hall of Armor. Rectangular will have to make an extension to his Hall of Armor display for this one.
Rectangular ain't got nothing on display anymore. He just sits in that empty room. Todd, put a figure on the shelf, for God's sake. No, I'm a sucker for anything Iron Man anyway, and it's a big robot. Like, I'd be curious to see something like this. Is it likely? Probably not, to be honest, because like there are plenty of other Marvel characters that we need represented on our display first, and I completely agree. But it would be interesting to see for sure. And yeah, it's one of those where you could see something like this in the kids line as well, just a giant man mech thing. There's probably their Lego mech Iron Man already, isn't there? So just the concept sells, if you know what I mean. Rather, like, regardless of the source material, a giant Iron Man mech robot, it would sell. So yeah, but I'm genuinely curious of the source material now. But yeah, an obscure one in regards to, does that character really need represented on the display? Like, Rich, if they made this, would you buy it?
Yes, 100%. I would buy this one.
Okay. Dan, who hates everyone,
passing on everything. Dan, where do you think you are? Strong collectors, come on.
I know, yeah. Even them in the chat. Dakota's in the chat.
Even Dakota wants it. There we go.
He says Dan, who hates everyone's displays. That's not true. I'm a lover of displays if you display anything. But Dakota doesn't display anything. He lives on a bus. And Todd doesn't display anything. Don't know why. He's just too busy customizing. But he just sits in an empty room. So I only dislike when you're not displaying things. That's my only criticism. I can't really dislike your display if you're not displaying anything. It's not even a display, is it? It's a shelf. It's an empty shelf. I hate empty shelves is the conclusion of that. All right? Put a figure on the shelf and then it's a display. Anyway, let's keep going. We got hits in the chat from your boy's got toys. He says, even though this is just two Hulkbusters in a trench coat, he'd buy it. Yeah, not wrong. Look, I like it. Tariq says that Sentinel looks like an X-Men evolution type. Well, it is X-Men related as well. You can see with the big X on the chest is a big clue. Damien says 6 to 10 inches is his preference. So if anyone's 6 to 10 inches and wants to hit up Damien's inbox, please do. That's his preference. Just making it public. It's not really the place you come to try and hit on guys, but okay, fair enough. Each to their own. Right, let's keep going. Gitano, Rich, what's this one?
Giganto. He's not Italian. Giganto.
He loves pizza, this guy. No. Tell me about this guy. Is he a Hulk villain? Fantastic Four, right?
He is the original Fantastic Four villain. He's the one.
Mole Man.
No, Mole Man summons him on the cover of Fantastic Four issue 1. There's that giant monster that Mole Man summons, and it is Giganto, that big, huge monster.
Now, I didn't know his name, but I'm aware of him. Yes.
And I just think with the Fantastic Four movie next year, the Fantastic Four, hopefully they'll get a good run around this time. It'll be a good movie, well received. The Fantastic Four will be back up there. And I think the Fantastic Four got loads of villains that we've already had in Marvel Legends form and a lot of misses. But I just think Giganto, being the start of the Marvel era in Fantastic Four issue 1, he's on that iconic cover of Fantastic Four issue 1. And it's like the monstrous side of the Marvel universe we don't get enough. Like Giganto with a little mole man, like, you know, controlling him. It would be a great figure to have. I would love that on my display. It would be something I would buy on made to order, because I don't think he's not a massively well-known character. He's not going to be in the new movie, so why not do it as a made to order figure?
Let me just I just wanted to get up the cover, because again, like when this image came up, I thought I didn't know who it was, but then when Rich told me what it's from, I'm like, of course I know what this is, because if you have read Fantastic Four issue 1, Marvel's first family, There he is on the front cover. Now, obviously, like Rich says, Mole Man summons him, and I remember Mole Man and the Moloids and all of that, but I forgot this. I didn't know this guy's name. I forgot it. But there we go. Front cover, first issue of Fantastic Four. Mr. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And yeah, I'd be game for something like that. It's like you said, Rich, it's sometimes building a collection is about representation and like what they represent. Like they may not be the most mainstream or known character, but when you break it down to someone and they're like, oh, who's that? And you're like, look, that's the original monster that the Fantastic Four fought in issue 1. Do you know, like it's those type of stories that are attached to characters that makes the collection what it is. So I like that. And like you said, the more monstrous vibe doesn't always get as much love. And Fantastic Four is going to have a good year next year with the movie coming out in the summer. Again, I'm predicting future Foundation versions of the Fantastic Four next year. So why not some more monsters? I'd like a Mole Man as well. Would you like a Mole Man, Rich?
I'd love a Mole Man. Little Mole Man with his cane. But he needs good articulation. That's the thing. Because when they do Mole Man, they usually make him crap. He needs like better. So again, that could be a made-to-order. They put the two of them together.
Doesn't he have his little? He has like a hover thing machine that he
stands
on, right?
Little like floating platform, and he's got his like big stick as well.
Yeah, you could have Mole Man with his big stick and his hovering board and some moloids. That in itself, packaged together, could be a deluxe offering.
So now the Fantastic Four movies come out next year, and we haven't really seen anything from it yet.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be better or worse than Kraven, which is the next Marvel film due out?
I think it's going to be absolutely better than Kraven. Because
better than Kraven? No way.
Every movie that has come out is going to be better than Kraven. It's anything Sony touches Marvel related that's not Spider-Man is terrible. Have
you not seen Venom: The Last Dance yet?
No, I don't care. I don't want to see it. I'm just glad that trilogy's over. I'll probably watch it at some point, but I said that about Madam Web and still haven't. I just don't care. I think that's the problem, that Sony don't realise that people just don't care. Like, we don't care.
I care, Dan. I care.
Like, just we care about the MCU canon. Like, I don't care about these crappy spin-offs you're making just for money. Like, we want to see the.
They make them for me. I love it. I love the Spider-Verse. I want White Rabbit to have a film. Everyone make a film about J. Jonah Jameson going about his day. That's what I want.
Yeah, no, I've got no interest in seeing Venom, seeing Kraven.
Aunt May the movie.
I'd see Aunt May the movie. Okay, I'd have an exception for Aunt May. But I think this character or Mole Man is going to appear in that Fantastic Four film.
Do you think?
Yeah, as like, do you know, like, I don't, because Galactus is going to be the big bad that they lead to, but I think they need to establish the Fantastic Four as a unit, as a good team within the movie. So I think there has to be segments of the film where you're seeing them utilize their powers, and because just think when we see them, they're not doing the origin again, are they? We're going straight to the Fantastic Four in that era. So the film could start with a battle piece of them fighting someone like him, if that makes sense.
It could be, but I think as well they've got Doctor Doom in it, and I don't think they want to do like a DC film where they just put like a million people in one film and then we never see them again. I think you can't put all the Fantastic Four villains in one film. So if you've got Doctor Doom and you've got Galactus and you've got the Silver Surfer, like, focus on that.
Yeah, I forgot they're all in it.
Everyone
the thing is,
else.
You can't establish the Fantastic Four as a solid, great unit because they're not going to kill Doom, Galactus, or the Silver Surfer. You know, like, those three guys beat the Fantastic Four on their first attempt. You know, like, so they need someone that the Fantastic Four can just beat up. Like, Shuma-Gorath technically wasn't in Multiverse of Madness, but he sort of was. He was like that first bit villain that they just had to get. I think someone like him or Mole Man could be like that first battle sequence. The movie could open in a battle sequence with the Fantastic Four. I don't know. I just think these type of characters are the deeper cut ones that people at the MCU, like if Kevin Feige's around, they know about, and they're like, look, put him in there. I don't know. I don't know.
Know what they want to do. Know what they want to do for the opening of that movie to establish the Fantastic Four. They want to, like, get some modern-day pop star to re-record that, the theme tune to the 90s TV show. Because that, like, describes their origin in, like, 2 minutes.
I guess they could. I don't think they're going that direction, but that would be fun.
I'll sing it for them. On an outer space adventure, we got hit by cosmic rays.
Yeah.
Reed Richards is elastic. Sue can fade from sight. Johnny is the Human Torch. And Thing just likes to fight. There you go.
I like it. I'm in. I've changed my mind. I'm in. I want them to do that now. Kevin,
I am available to record that like Lady Gaga was for Joker 2.
I'm glad your internet connection was good for that as well, because everyone got to enjoy that in proper spirit. So okay, let's keep going. But Fantastic Four in 2025 is going to get some love, that's for sure. Next up, Devil Dinosaur. Now, everyone used to think that this was out of reach because of how big it would be. But if Mattel can do those giant colossus dinosaurs like at a price just think those giant colossal dinosaurs are like less than £100. Why can't Hasbro paint one red? Do you know, like, people have genuinely made custom devil dinosaurs by painting the Mattel versions red. So Hasbro can't come out and say, oh, this isn't, can't do this. Like, give Mattel a ring and use their factory or something. I don't know. Like, this is clearly doable at a price range. And again, what's the girl that controls Devil Dinosaur? What's her name?
So that's Moon Girl. This is obviously this is classic Devil Dinosaur. That's Moon Boy on the top.
Okay, so but even still, one of those, like, because they're a smaller accompanying figure, that's easily achievable.
You could do both.
Exactly,
yeah, you could do Moon Girl and Moon Boy, and then you appeal to everyone then in one go.
Exactly, easily achievable. So, like, and it's a dinosaur. Like, it's just a big, pretty red T-Rex. Like, it doesn't, people can look at that and go, what's that? Is that a big red T-Rex? And you can just look at them and go, yes, it is. That's all they need to know. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to break it down any further than that. So I reckon, again, this one's more achievable than you probably think, but will they do it? Probably not. But Rich, would you want a giant dinosaur? Do you have any of the Mattel dinosaurs?
I don't have any of the old men dinosaur fodder at the back of my displays. Or the old men, or the gates. I don't have any of it. You don't have the gates either because they never got funded.
I wanted those gates so bad. So bad.
The sad days with those gates.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I would love Devil Dinosaur. I think he would be a great figure. Now, Hasbro, last year with the Spider-Verse movies, there was a Spider-Man in Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Rex.
Yeah.
So they did do a figure for like the kids line. Like it was like a deluxe bigger figure, but with limited articulation. So there is like, a way they could do it. They could update that, give it more articulation, give it like a jaw that opens and closes. And he's only got little arms as well, so he wouldn't need a lot of sculpting, would he? Little arms.
I found him. Here he is. So Rich is referring to this figure that got released last year. So Hasbro have already done a red T-Rex, but of course not the one we're referring to. But maybe they're just testing the waters. I don't know. But what scale is that? That's got to be like smaller.
I think it's to go with like the 4-inch figures.
Yeah. But still, there you go. See, Hasbro can do a big red dinosaur. Just make it bigger. Give us the Colossus scale from Mattel. I think one of them's right now on. You can get one of them on. What is it? Comics and Cocktails big Black Friday sale. You can get one of the colossal dinosaurs that work for. Like, it's a T-Rex in scale with 6-inch figures. They're massive, and it's on the Comics and Cocktails a Black Friday sale now for £40, which is, for what it is pretty decent. But will Hasbro ever do one? I don't know. But I reckon Moon Girl's probably a character they get to at some point. But they know if they release that, they're going to have to answer questions to what about Devil Dinosaur? Because she's like the most intelligent person ever or in the universe or something like that, right? Yeah?
Yeah, and she's got like the animated show, like we said before, is on Disney Kids now as well. I think it's on the 2nd season. So she's out there more, like her comics are like the digest of her comics. I was at my nephews, like like the book fairs they do in school, and the only comic books they had was Squirrel Girl, Moon Girl, and Miles Morales. They were the comics they had. Obviously, my nephew didn't want any of them. He just wanted books about Minecraft. But I was like, there's comic books here.
But it shows as well that they're like, we're obviously stuck in our ways because of the generation we grew up. And we're unaware that this new generation coming through are actually consuming these characters more so than we would, because they're like, so it's a new generations of a more familiar. Like, we're thinking, they might be obscure, but the reality is the younger generation's probably exposed to these type of characters more than we realise because of those animated shows and etc. So yeah, I reckon more people than we give credit would probably know these. I was just trying to look for that on the website for that giant dinosaur, but I can't find it. Can't find it. But there's a giant T-Rex on cocktails anyway for £40.
Maybe it's gone extinct, Dan.
Yeah, it's gone extinct. There you go. Now we know. There we go. See if Alexi can find it for us. If he can dig it up for us.
I seem to be back in sync now as well. Like my internet, I pay, but the payment has gone through.
It's after 9 o'clock. It's up until 9. They fuck you around, and then after 9 o'clock, they're like, all right, you can work again now. Cute Cool says, do you think Smiths would carry it? Look, Smiths will carry any dinosaur that anyone makes. They love this.
That dinosaur I saw. It was like in Tesco's or Asda. I saw that on the shelves, and it was about like 40 quid.
Yeah, I might have. How much was it on Amazon? I didn't even look. I've closed the tab now.
£200 on Amazon now.
It's pricey. It's a very sought after toy, you see. Very sought after. All right, let's keep going for our list. What else we got? Okay, this one's for Damien. I think it's Damien in the chat that's always asking for this, right? So finally, Damien. Finally you put one in Damien's list. You ignore Damien all this time, Rich, and now you finally put one in for Damien. He's going to be very happy.
It's big wheel, Dan.
Big wheel. I like the accent you put on there as well. Yeah, so Big Wheel is a Spidey villain, right? Is he?
Yeah,
Spidey or Daredevil?
Mr. Jackson Wheel. Thankfully, they named him Jackson Wheel. Thankfully, he wasn't Jackson Smith. But Jackson Wheel was this like business guy who like was trying to like get after people. He was a bit crap, really. But I think it was Rocket Racer used to call him Big Wheel and make fun of him because he was crap and he wouldn't help him. So then he went to the Tinkerer or one of the Marvel, like the ones that help the supervillains build things.
He was in the MCU as well.
He went to them and he was like, I want to get my revenge on Rocket Racer and Spider-Man. And so he was like, they call me Big Wheel, so I'll make you Big Wheel. And he made him a big wheel that he can like go around in and destroy the supervillains. He's really like a cheesy, naff villain, but he's got a unique look. So like just this massive wheel that he can spin about with his arms that he can like get people. This would be a great figure to have. And I think he's out there enough that I don't think he's going to get a mainstream release of a massive wheel. But as a made-to-order figure, it would be acceptable, I think.
I think he's too much of a deep cut to be one of those made to order things, but some people might think that about a character like Dragon Man. So what do I know? But it would be a fun figure for sure, especially if it's an actual I could think because he stays, I don't know what the science is they call it technically, but he stays central and the wheel moves around him, right? So
it's like atmospheres in Gladiators.
Yeah. Like
Big Wheel, you're going my first missile.
Big Wheel, ready. Again, it's an obscure, goofy, old school villain, which we do occasionally get in the Marvel Legends line. And I know some people in the chat, like Rick Jones, I've never heard of him. But again, that's part of the fun. Like you can now discover and learn about this wacky character. Again, you don't have to take comics too serious. Again, there's plenty of comments that comics are crazy. Don't take them too serious. And Big Wheel is one of those characters where it's like, would a villain ever do that? But like we said, the Tinkerer is another character that we've never got in Legends form. Wouldn't be too exciting of a character. But he helped the Vulture in the MCU. He was like the Vulture's. He made the Vulture suit for Thingy, wasn't it? The Tinkerer. So yeah, he is one of those villains that help out. But Big Wheel. There you go. Fine. We made him into a list. We put him into a list. Shane Shooter's happy. Damien's happy. Gahubri J's happy. Yeah, Big Wheel. Again, probably a bit too much of a deep cut to be a made to order, but it would have to be a bigger ticket item to make his bloody wheel. He'd go great with Stiltman, that type of character, that type of obscureness. Let's go to Nemesis. This one's a little bit more sought after. Now, we have had Nemesis in the Marvel Legends line. Like, if you want him represented in plastic, then you can have him, as there was an early Hasbro builder figure during the sort of Target exclusive dark days of Hasbro, about 2007-ish. The Nemesis... aka Holocaust, but they can't call him Holocaust for obvious reasons, and we won't dispute that. But the figure itself was pretty sought after. It still is, to be honest. And it's one of those characters that is desperate in need for an upgrade, but because we have no other version of him, people probably still have him in their displays to today. Especially if you've built out they've done a lot more AOA figures now, haven't they? So Holocaust can definitely stand in the background with them. he was rumored to be a builder-figure for those waves for a while, and he probably would have been the builder-figure for the third wave of AOA if but Dan Yoon, sorry, got a bit tired of breakdancing. He couldn't breakdance hard enough to get that third wave of AOA out. So they're gonna have to find other ways to get those characters out there, which I think we will. Again, there are rumors out there. But Nemesis, Rich, surely again with this one, considering Hasbro have already done him, they have been going through redoing all of these older builder figures to the new Marvel Legends standard. They've got to get to him at some point, right?
Yeah, so I will say of all the ones on this list, I think he's the least likely to be a made-to-order figure, just because they've done him as a bath before, so it's easy enough that they do him as a bath again. I think
or deluxe.
Or deluxe, yeah. I think the bit with Nemesis that is tricky is obviously like inside that armor is just this like skeleton guy. Like basically his powers are he's so powerful that if he's not in that containment suit, he'll basically burn the flesh, like destroy everything that's not in it. So inside it, like in the Hasbro version that they did, you could take off that thing and there was a little skeleton, little head and shoulders that fitted in there. So you need like a clear dome, and then the rest of it then is all this like massive armor. I think if anything, this could be. There's an X-Men wave rumored for next year. I mean, Build-A-Figure wise, this would be a good choice to put in that. Like, as a Build-A-Figure, this one would be a good one.
Yeah, and let me throw up a picture of the previous figure. So that is the current Marvel Legends we have. And Rich has definitely attempted to build him because Tiger was in that wave. So he's probably got tons of one piece.
I've got at least 3, whatever bit came with Tiger, I've got the 3 bits that came with that.
Yeah, so that is your Build-A-Figure wave for Nemesis. It was Tigra, Black Bolt, Punisher, Yellow Daredevil, and Nova, thank you. So it exists, and I do think that probably could still fit into a collection there. If you've built like a little AOA shelf after the 2 AOA waves we've got and a couple of deluxes, he could still fit in there and do the job as character representation for sure. But aesthetically, definitely worthy of a bit of an upgrade. I'm trying to find a better picture with that skull open. Let me see.
And next year as well is like the big anniversary year for the Age of Apocalypse. It's like 30 years since the Age of Apocalypse began. Like we've already seen AOA Nightcrawler is coming, but in his X-Force uniform. Rumors are the Gambit might be coming as well. So for that, if the X-Men wave is a Build-A-Figure wave, like Nemesis would, I think, pull people in to buy the obscure characters type of thing, or the characters they didn't want. I think if they did that as a Build-A-Figure, it would be a great figure to have. And it's kind of like the last of the Bath figures that needs an update apart from Fin Fan Foom.
That's a good shout, because again, a third AOA wave was, I think, on the plans for a while, but then they changed it, and I reckon they could probably still do an X-Men wave with, like you said already, they've already put Gambit. The Gambit's going to be in a wave, so he could still be the Build-A-Figure for an X-Men wave. It's just not going to be branded as a sole AOA wave to try and pull in everybody else. But
and unlike a lot of the other Age of Apocalypse characters as well, like his counterpart in the 616 was much different to this, and he came across, it was like him, X-Man, Sugarman, and Dark Beast.
Yeah,
they were the characters that came into the 616. So it's not like he hasn't been about. Like he's fought the Acolytes in the 90s. He was a big part of the XL series with Blink, like he was in that. And even like more recently, he showed up in the 2nd volume of Marauders, fighting a Shadowcat and Cassandra Nova in that story arc from Steve Orlando at the end of House of X. So he's a character that is still about, always had the same look. So he would fit in an X-Men wave anyway.
Yeah, Dakota said there's a seat for him on the bus. He's in for this one for sure. The bus is filling up for Dakota. That's going to be his display, just Marvel Legends satin bus seats. Be an interesting display for sure. But again, I agree with Rich. I think this one would do very well, and it's just, again, it's one of those old Build-A-Figures that could be updated, and it's one that people want as well. I don't have the Build-A-Figure, so like I actually would like a redo of this one so I can get one. So yes, I'm in for this for sure. Robert in the chat says they could reuse the body for armor. I think I see where I see where your mind's going with that one. I don't think the reuse would be bang on, but I know what you're going. It's an ecto sort of skeleton, sort of translucent. Like there's definitely potential there, maybe to reuse segments or parts. I definitely see where your mind's going with that one, Robert. Good shout. Next up, we've got Atlas. We were talking earlier, I think a Hero of Collectors, Austin, was talking about those 12-inch scale figures. If they had just done characters like Bill Foster and an Atlas and Frost Giants or whatever it is in that 12-inch scale line, they could have complemented what we already have in the 6-inch line. Atlas could be in that category, but I don't think I need Atlas that big. I like him just being like, he's going to be bigger, but like more deluxe scale, right? I think. Or do you need a massive?
See, I'd want a massive Atlas, because I think the thing is he's kind of like Giant Man, but like
he's
at the hinge. Like when he was when he was Goliath in the Masters of Evil, and then obviously when they became heroes, he became Atlas. Like, I think of everyone in the Thunderbolt series, he is Ark and Songbird and Mach 4. Like, he was always like, he wanted to be good, but he always ended up going back to be bad. Whereas like Songbird and Mach 4, they ended up being good in the end. Like, he was always like between the lines. Like, he wasn't as evil as Moonstone. But we've never had a figure of Eric either. Like, so I love this costume. Like, just like the big A branding on him. Like, it's so obvious now when you look back that these were the Masters of Evil. But at the time, these character designs and everything, they just look great. So I love the Thunderbolts. I love the original Thunderbolts. I don't think we've got enough of them in action figure form. And I would love this version of Atlas. So I would take it in any size. 6-inch, 12-inch. 22 inches. I'll take any Atlas size. I'm not picky.
Oh, you're not as fussy as Damien. And he's got a very particular range that he's
6 to 10 for Damien.
10 for Damien. That's his cut off. But Rich is he'll take bigger. But again, I for me, it's about the character representation, like you said. So again, I'm like you. I would be happy to add him to the collection, whether it be in the deluxe scale or even the bigger scale. But yeah, I'd take it. I like the old Thunderbolts. We haven't got them, like you said.
The bit with Atlas, though, is like, I think they've got the sculpting out there that they could do this now. I don't think it needs to be a made-to-order figure, even for the size. I think, like, using, like, one of the bigger figures out there, they could do this now. It's only really the A and the shoulders, which could just be, like, an armor layover anyway. You could just use a normal body on it. So I don't think it maybe needs to be a made-to-order. But if this was the only way we could get it, I would buy it.
Yeah, I was just trying to look through some pictures of the whole Thunderbolts team together, but I'm sure people are familiar. But yeah, we've talked about Atlas plenty of times as well on the channel, because it's just one of those characters that they're going to have to get to at some point. We've got, like, if I look on the shelf, we've got quite a lot of the Thunderbolts, but never the complete team. We can't complete any team in any particular era quite yet. It's one of those teams where just one extra character would complete certain eras, and I think Atlas is in one of those brackets where if you got Atlas, you could probably build a version of the Thunderbolts on the shelf. So yeah, any scale, but a character that needs some love on the shelf for sure. And some of the chat agree as well. Atlas needs to be 10 inches tall, says Andy B. And Damien says 13, to be fair. So Damien's getting adventurous. He's going up. He's up in his scale preferences a little bit. It started with a click. Shelley says, happy Thanksgiving and greetings from a very sunny Orlando. Though thought I'd drop by while waiting in line for the Tower of Terror. I am not jealous of Shelley at all. I am very happy I'm sat in my cold house. No, I'm very jealous. I couldn't hold it in any longer, Rich. I'm very jealous of Shelley. Shelley, you enjoy Orlando. You enjoy the Tower of Terror. I've got a great picture of me and Amanda on the Tower of Terror because she was shitting herself. And when it dropped, like, there's a picture of her, like, she looks like Gromit, Wallet from
Poor Amanda, love her.
I show it on the street. I think she just walked through the door as well, so you can probably hear me telling you this story, which you would appreciate. But no, enjoy the Tower of Terror, Shelley. Glad that you could drop in. Thankful for this Thanksgiving. So there is our list that Rich put together. Thank you very much, Rich. But we just before we get out of here, we do want to just throw some more characters into the site, guys. And if anyone's coming on the bonus show, so again, I will put the bonus show public today. It still says It still says in the chat, where we got going, still says we need one more to hit the goal, but Alexi, to be fair, did throw a Streamlabs donation in as well, which is the same as a super chat, so I will allow it. But yes, we will put the after show public. So why is Dakota? Why are the strong collectors, right, not a channel member? Like, Dakota could come to be on the show right now, live from the bus, and promote the strong collectors. I even went onto his YouTube a minute ago to see if I could see that bus tour that he just said he's put up, but it's on a different channel because it's not on the strong collectors channel. I've just looked. All right, let me show people. Look, this is the strong collector. There's the strong collectors. Dakota just said he put up a tour of his bus, but I can't find any tour video. Where's your bus tour?
Is it on community? Look in the community section. He says.
Oh, it's on his own channel. Yes. Oh, okay. Shall we all just sit and commentate? Shall we do a live commentary on Dakota's bus? Do you have anything on display in your bus, Dakota? Right,
I got money in the bank.
But this is where he's currently living. The biggest
Give
dog
him a
ever.
like. Give him a like. Look, you got him like there.
I've literally just clicked
Click
it.
on a like. I click subscribe as well. Come on.
I just clicked it and then looked straight at the chat. You didn't even give me a chance. A super chat distracted me. There's a. I'm actually, it looks like a fun adventure. I'm gonna watch Dakota. I'm gonna watch. Can't see any Marvel Legends yet, though. To be fair, can't see any Marvel Legends yet. But I'll be watching. There he is. Oh, there's some. We found some, Rich. We found them. He's got 9 legends on it. That's more. That's 9 more than Todd. That's 9 more than Rectangular. Confirmed. No, shout out Dakota. Dakota, become a channel member for God's sake, and come on the stream, and you can talk about strong collectors and your bus. All right, I'll allow it. The biggest dog ever says we need a good base 12-inch body for a giant man and various Galactus, various Goliath, and characters like Atlas as well. I agree. I do think that because we've got now Giant Man in like the 20-odd inch scale, and we've got the regular Giant Man, all we need now is on the display to create that sort of grow-in display is a 12-inch version of that Giant Man, and then you can display them growing. What
if they reused that HasLab Giant Man for different characters? Would you be annoyed with that, or
no? Not at all. Not if it's like, as long as they added to it to actually make it represent who it's meant to be better. Do you know, like, because of the characters' costumes.
No, just paint it like a different colour. That's Atlas. He's red now.
Don't just do a Tropic Thunder to bloody Hank Pym and then call it Goliath. Do you know what I mean? Like, actually, if they're going to use that, there's got to be some pieces they could still use, but with the added detail for etc. I agree. The 12-inch body for a Giant Man and other characters would be a great idea. I do want to do that growing display effect, but we need an accurate. I want it done with accurate-looking figures. We've got the 12. We've got the 6-inch. We've got the Giant Man. He's literally on the floor down there. He's down there at the minute. Yeah, a 12-inch. I would buy another 12-inch Giant Man. Is all I'm saying. Right, let me just throw some others out there. I want to throw out the Marvel, this Spider-Man animated series. Sorry, Dakota, I'm going to have to get rid of you for a second because I want to show off the... where is it? Here it is. Now, you know I'm a big fan of the Spider-Man retro card, right? And in that Spider-Man line, they did playsets and vehicles. One of the vehicles being the Tri-Spider Slayer that actually appeared during an arc in the show with Smythe built it to try and hunt down Spider-Man to thank Kingpin for like hiring his dad or whatever it was. So I'd love them to do this in like 6-inch Legends form. Like, I don't think they ever will, but I'm just putting it into the zeitgeist as I've been a big fan of the Spider-Man animated show, as you can see from behind me. I'd love them to do something like this, and this could be a made-to-order type thing where I know they don't like doing vehicles, and it's not technically a vehicle, it's a robot. It's 3 robot spiders that build together to make a mech spider. Rich, you'd have no interest in this, right?
No, none at all. I was like, I was zoning out. You know, just speak about it.
Okay, that one's just for me. Okay, that one's just for me. But Rich, would you go for Mephisto and a throne? Come on, we've got to end the show with Mephisto and a throne. It's got to happen at some point, right?
Oh my God, have we had a rumour? For 2025?
No rumours have been heard. I've told you, I'm terrible at following breadcrumbs. But at some point, we're going to get a Mephisto. Whether he comes with a throne or not, I don't know. But I'm just going to keep on. I'm just going to keep... If I keep saying it, Rich... At some point, I will be right, all right? At some point, I will be right. I will stop getting called a liar by people like the Strong Collectors, and I will be correct. They will have to make a video going, Dan who was right, because Mephisto's coming at some point. At some point. I ain't got a time scale, but you'd buy Mephisto, right?
I'd buy Mephisto in a heartbeat.
Exactly. See, Hasbro, that's all you need to know. Me and Rich are in, all right? So if you know we're in, it's a good choice.
He's got to be coming somewhere. They've got to find a way to get Mephisto. I think, like, there's so much, like, everyone wants Mephisto. Like, he's even, like, they're referencing him still in the, like, MCU verse as well. Like, he'd be a great character. With or without a throne, I want a Mephisto.
Yeah, agreed. It does. I'm not too concerned of the throne. It's more of the character, for sure. Finally, Dan who was right got one right. Coming soon, the Strong Collectors. Yeah. Look, people click it. Look, you'll get views. That's all I'm saying. People click it. All right, good stuff. Right, we're going to go over to the after show, but I do want to remind you one more time, this Sunday is Legends and Liquor. So Sunday's the 1st of December. So start off the Christmas season with an episode of Legends and Liquor, where Rich is going to be joining us to break down our trip to the concert. Jay can tell us about his crush on a drag queen. Legends and Liquor this Sunday, the 1st of December. So if you want to be part of it, just start hitting me up after the show. And if you want to continue on the show, we're going to jump over to the after show. I will leave it public while we are live, and we can have some guests on as well. So if you were part of the Who Crew Deluxe tier, then start hitting me up with that fresh DM and I will get you on the show. And you can tell us what bigger Marvel character you think would be a good fit for this direct to pre-order line. I'm also curious how many Sentinels people ended up getting. So that's going to be your questions for the after show. How many Sentinels did you lock in? Because I'm embarrassed to admit how many I locked in. But
God.
I've got enough, Rich. I've given myself options, Rich. I've given myself plenty of options, and I double checked to make sure the cancel button was still there after the fact, and it is. Thank God, because I would have had a heart attack. But yes, they've got rid of the Sentinel. Is now gone from Hasbro Pulse. You can't even see.
Imagine they took it away and the cancel button went for everyone.
The Hasbro team are 100% watching all our streams, where everybody's saying just order it and you can cancel it later. So I was thinking maybe they've had a little word with Pulse, and Pulse are like, well, let's get rid of the cancel button and screw them over. But no, the cancel button is still there. Whew, thank God for that. But I've ordered plenty of Sentinels. So if you panic and need an extra Sentinel, Rich, don't worry. I got you, all right? I got you. Yes, I'm curious how many Sentinels you locked in, and also what bigger character would be a good fit. Just one pick from everybody as we move over to the after show. But until then, Rich, the next time I'll see you will be in December, be in the Christmas season. Tell the good people where they can find you online.
Well, you can find me, like, not in Birmingham or travelling on 50 trains to get home because of flooding.
Oh, dear.
I will be here for all of December. Hopefully, my internet will get... It seems to have got better for the second half of the show.
Yeah, it's fine.
Maybe we should start at 9 in future.
Yeah,
maybe that's what we should do.
Yeah, we're delaying until 9. It's fine. It's Amanda that made me start at 8 because when we started streaming, she didn't like the idea of it, but I think now she's more comfortable with the fact I'm streaming. So maybe I could push it to 9. Maybe we can discuss. I've pushed it to 8:15 today, didn't I? So I'll just keep pushing it. I'll just keep pushing it.
But we've got December coming up, and what is December? It is the time of everyone telling him what their favourite legends were. My favourite time of the year. I cannot wait.
I know Rich is being sarcastic, right? But I genuinely love this time of year.
No, I really cannot wait to see the shitty list, Dan. I can't wait. What's it going to be?
I like these conversations. I like finding out people's favourite figures of the year. I always think that the collector's mentality is always what's next. And again, we're victims of this as well, where we're like, oh, okay, this is here, but what's next? What's next? Again, it's all part of the fun. It's part of the hobby. But I like these times of the year because we get to reflect and go, okay, well, what did we get this year that we were really happy with and we were glad we added to the collection? What were the best figures to come out? So I like December because not only are we going to get some new pre-orders because we know that Spider-Man wave, well, we sort of know that Spider-Man wave is going to go up. Still hoping for Chameleon before the end of 2024, people. It could still happen. We're going to talk about the best figures of the year, talk about what we'd like to see in 2025. So December's always a good time. So again, great time to become a channel member. And I know I keep promising it, but I guarantee I will do an inner circle Turtles and Tea, Anna Joe's and Juice in December, all right? I'm going to make it happen. Lots of streaming, good times to be had by all. But anyway, you know, we'll be here talking Marvel Legends every Thursday until then, for sure. Christmas isn't on a Thursday, right? Just double checking. Christmas
To
is a
Wednesday, I think.
So Boxing Day. Are we going to be streaming on Boxing Day? We're going to have to discuss that.
We usually take Christmas week off.
Yeah,
don't we?
probably will. Amanda's not a fan of me streaming around Christmas, so yeah, we'll figure that out after the
We
fact.
can do the second though. I'm off the after Christmas, after New Year.
Yeah, I've got 2 weeks off around Christmas as well, so that's when I'm going to try and throw in these bonus shows and stuff. So yeah, we'll figure it out, people. But anyway, I'm rambling on where I don't need to, because we're going to go over to the extra show. All right, so head on over. I'll put the link in the chat. I need to make it public for people, but once I do, you can follow the link. So click this link, and if it doesn't appear for you now, it will do in a moment when I make it public for people as a thank you for the contributions to today's show. All right, so we're going to get out of here. Rich, give them a wave, and we will see you momentarily. All right, we'll see you in a minute. All right, and if you want to be on the BAFTA show, DM me, and if you want to be on Legend of Liquor, DM me. Bye. Lots of DMs. Oh, where's my end tab? Oh, I can't find it. My mouse has died. There it is. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Best forgotten.
See how he got it? He got it in there, didn't he? Click that video. I'll put my Punisher review there. Honestly, Punisher's genuinely one of my favourite figures of the year. So yeah, go and check it out. Finally, I got it open. And I'll put something else over there. And Richard's got something special to send me that I'll be reviewing soon. But